Have you ever been asked something that seemed kind on the surface, but deep within you felt something wasn't quite right? The tone is soft, the smile is gentle, but the moment you answer, you feel it. Something inside of you burns. That feeling of doubt, the realization that you've just walked into a trap and you didn't even see it coming. The question isn't about curiosity, it's about control. It's not a request for clarity, it's an attempt to shape your reality, to make you question your instincts, your judgment, and ultimately, your truth. The worst part? It doesn't come at you with force. It comes at you quietly, with a calm voice and a disarming smile, slowly tearing at your confidence until you're questioning everything you once stood for. This is how manipulation works, through subtle, calculated questions. But here's the uncomfortable truth. Once you recognize this tactic, you'll never be caught off guard again. You'll begin to see through the lies, stay centered, and protect your inner peace, just like the Stoics did centuries ago. They understood that the key to inner freedom lies not in reacting to manipulation, but in responding with clarity, restraint, and unshakable strength. If you're ready to stand firm, rooted in your own truth, please subscribe for your own journey towards self-mastery, where your clarity is your power. Let's dive in. 1. Why are you being so sensitive? Have you ever been in a situation where someone questioned your feelings, making you feel like you were overreacting? You might have been told, "Why are you being so sensitive?" It sounds harmless at first, right? Almost like a person is simply trying to understand your point of view. But when you dig deeper, you realize something unsettling. That question isn't really about seeking clarity. It's about undermining your perception. It's a subtle way of invalidating your emotions, suggesting that you're the one in the wrong for feeling something deeply. It can leave you questioning yourself, second-guessing whether your feelings are justified. But here's a truth that many overlook. Sensitivity isn't a flaw, it's a strength. We often think of sensitivity as a weakness, especially in a world that values toughness and emotional detachment. Yet in reality, sensitivity is a tool, one that helps us notice things others don't. Think about it. A skilled detective can pick up on subtle details that escape everyone else's attention. A parent might sense when something is off with their child, even when the signs are unspoken. This ability to pick up on the unseen is a form of emotional intelligence, one that, when paired with reason, becomes a powerful radar for truth. This doesn't just apply to detectives or parents. It applies to all of us. In relationships, whether personal or professional, your sensitivity can alert you to potential issues before they even surface. It's like a quiet inner voice that warns you when something isn't quite right. Yet, manipulators, or those with hidden agendas, will often try to make you doubt this instinct. They want you to believe that you're overreacting, that your feelings are exaggerated, and that your intuition is untrustworthy. But here's the key. When you own your sensitivity, you turn it into your greatest asset. Sensitivity is not about being weak, it's about being attuned to the world around you. As Seneca once said, "We suffer more in imagination than in reality." What he meant by this is that often our fears and anxieties are inflated by our own doubts. When we start questioning our feelings, we amplify that internal struggle, and it can make us feel weaker than we are. But if we embrace our sensitivity as a tool for perception, rather than something to be ashamed of, we start to build a stronger, more resilient foundation for ourselves. Next time someone asks, "Why are you being so sensitive?" don't shrink away. Stand your ground. Respond with clarity and confidence. "I'm not being sensitive, I'm being perceptive." This shift in perspective transforms a moment of doubt into a declaration of strength. Instead of playing into the manipulator's narrative, you take control. And in that moment, you'll likely see a change in the energy around you. The person who tried to undermine your feelings might back off, realizing that you aren't easily swayed by attempts to question your reality. It's also important to recognize that this doesn't mean you should be overly defensive or attack the other person. The Stoic approach isn't about reacting emotionally to every challenge, but responding with measured calmness. Marcus Aurelius, in his Meditations, reminds us, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." Realize this, and you will find strength. When you control your reaction, you regain control over the situation. It's not about dismissing the feelings of others or refusing to listen to them. It's about not letting them dictate your emotional state. This is a valuable lesson when navigating difficult situations. Think about the times when someone tried to tell you that your feelings were too much or overblown. What if, instead of apologizing for being sensitive, you simply acknowledged your perception? After all, perception is reality, and when you validate your own feelings, you stop giving power to those who try to manipulate or dismiss you. One of the most empowering things you can do for yourself is to stop apologizing for being perceptive. Being aware of subtle dynamics, noticing what others overlook, and trusting your gut are all skills that serve you well in life. And when you stop questioning those skills, you reclaim your confidence. The next time someone tries to tell you that you're too sensitive, think of it not as a criticism, but as a confirmation that you're tuned into something they're trying to hide. Instead of feeling defensive, remind yourself that you're simply paying attention to what others miss. In fact, it's important to keep in mind that sensitivity is often a sign of inner strength, not weakness. People who are truly in touch with their emotions and their environment have a greater capacity for empathy and awareness. They understand what's happening around them because they listen, not just with their ears, but with their hearts. When you recognize this, you begin to see how much power there is in paying attention to your feelings. Instead of seeing sensitivity as something to be avoided, you start to see it as a tool to help guide you toward truth. So, the next time you find yourself confronted with that familiar question, "Why are you being so sensitive?" Pause and reflect. Recognize it for what it is, an attempt to make you doubt yourself. Then respond not with defensiveness, but with calm confidence. Embrace your sensitivity, for it's not a weakness, but a strength that can guide you toward greater understanding and self-trust. And in that moment, you'll not only stand firm in your own truth, but empower others to do the same. 2. You trust me, don't you? Have you ever had someone ask, "You trust me, don't you?" It sounds simple enough, right? Almost sweet, like a request for reassurance or a genuine desire for closeness. But when you really think about it, doesn't something about that question make you feel uneasy? It's not just a question, it's a tactic, a carefully crafted move designed to put you on the spot. The words might sound innocent, but behind them lies a layer of pressure, pushing you to silence any doubts, to stop questioning, and to simply accept their word without scrutiny. Here's the problem with that question. Trust, when it's real, isn't something that can be demanded. It's something that's built over time, earned through actions, consistency, and transparency. Real trust isn't about asking for it, it's about showing it. Think about it. When someone shows up for you day in and day out, when they follow through on their promises, that's when trust is established. Trust is a product of integrity, not manipulation. When someone asks, "You trust me, don't you?" what they're really doing is asking you to give them something they haven't earned. Your faith, your confidence, your blind loyalty. They're asking you to ignore your instincts, to stop thinking critically, and to just hand over your trust. That's not genuine trust. That's control. It's about getting you to abandon your judgment and believe in something, even when your gut tells you that things aren't as they seem. Carl Jung once said, "The most terrifying thing is to accept oneself completely." This isn't just about self-acceptance. It's about being able to face reality as it is, no matter how uncomfortable. When someone asks you, "Do you trust me?" they're trying to manipulate your reality, to make you feel guilty for questioning them. They want you to believe in them without any real foundation of trust. But the Stoics teach us a better way. We shouldn't trust blindly. Instead, we should trust based on reason, reflection, and personal judgment. The next time someone asks you this question, take a deep breath. Don't feel rushed or pressured into answering. A calm, measured response is the best defense. You might say, "Trust is something that's built over time. Are you asking me to abandon my judgment?" This simple yet powerful response flips the dynamic. It puts the spotlight back on their actions and challenges them to prove they are worthy of your trust. It forces them to consider whether their behavior has earned your trust or if they are simply trying to manipulate you into giving it. It's important to remember that the Stoics lived by this principle. Don't let emotions dictate your judgments. They believed that clarity and reason should guide us, especially when making decisions that affect our well-being. Marcus Aurelius, in his Meditations, reminded us, "Accept the things to which fate binds you, and love the people with whom fate brings you together, but do so with all your heart." Trust isn't about letting someone dictate your feelings or demanding loyalty. It's about choosing where you invest your energy and whom you allow into your inner circle. True trust is earned over time through consistency, openness, and the courage to stand by one's words and actions. It's not about the question, "Do you trust me?" but rather the question, "Have you shown me, through your actions, that you are worthy of my trust?" That's where the real power lies. Trust is a decision you make, not a demand placed on you. When someone tries to manipulate you into trusting them, it's important to pause and reflect. What are their actions saying? Are they consistent with their words? Are they open and transparent? Trust isn't about believing in someone without evidence. It's about recognizing when someone's actions align with their promises. Trust is earned by showing up for others, not by asking for it directly. And if that question ever catches you off guard again, remember that your judgment is your power. Don't let anyone take it from you with a simple question. A Stoic approach isn't about resisting others or shutting them out. It's about maintaining clarity and control over your own choices. You don't need to apologize for questioning someone or for wanting more than empty promises. Your trust is a valuable gift, one that must be given wisely and with discernment. So when they ask, "You trust me, don't you?" take a step back. Let the question sit for a moment. Instead of answering immediately, think about what they've shown you. Have they earned your trust through their actions? Have they been consistent, honest, and dependable? If not, don't be afraid to say what's on your mind. Trust is earned, you can say. It's built over time, and right now, I need to see more. When you begin to recognize manipulation for what it is, you also start to realize just how much power you hold. Your judgment, your ability to think clearly and make decisions based on reason, is one of the strongest tools you have. Don't let anyone pressure you into surrendering it. Stand firm in your own judgment and let your trust be a reflection of someone's worth, not a weapon used to control you. By doing this, you not only protect yourself from manipulation, but you also reclaim the power to make decisions that align with your values. In a world full of subtle pressures, knowing when and where to place your trust is a rare strength. And just like the Stoics, you'll find that living in accordance with reason, clarity, and integrity will bring you closer to the life you're meant to live. 3. Are you accusing me? Have you ever brought up something that didn't sit right with you, only to be hit with the response, "Are you accusing me?" Suddenly, you're the one on trial. The attention shifts from the issue at hand to your intent, making you the focus of the conversation instead of what you were actually trying to discuss. That's the tricky part. What was meant to be a healthy, open conversation turns into a defensive battle where you have to defend yourself against accusations that weren't even made. The question, "Are you accusing me?" is a classic manipulation tactic. It's designed to throw you off balance and make you second-guess yourself. It's not really a question, it's a calculated move to shift the power dynamic. Instead of addressing the problem, the manipulator tries to make you feel guilty for even bringing it up. It's an attempt to redirect the conversation, to put you on the defensive, and ultimately to derail the discussion. You end up trying to explain yourself or justify your actions, when in reality, you should be discussing the problem at hand. This is where it becomes crucial to recognize the tactic. It's a subtle but effective way to manipulate a situation. The moment you're made to feel like the problem is your accusation, the focus is lost. What was once an honest concern about an issue becomes a challenge to your character. And that's exactly what the manipulator wants, control over the narrative. By asking you, "Are you accusing me?" they not only deflect from the real problem, but also shift the emotional burden onto you. They're getting you to question your own perception and respond emotionally. This is where Stoic wisdom becomes invaluable. The Stoics knew the power of keeping your emotions in check, especially in situations designed to provoke a reaction. When someone asks, "Are you accusing me?" don't fall into the trap of defending yourself. As Epictetus wisely put it, it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. The key is not to react emotionally, but to respond with clarity and calmness. A Stoic response in this situation would be to pause, look them in the eye, and calmly ask, "Should I be?" This simple, composed answer takes the power back. It forces the manipulator to confront their actions without dragging you into the emotional chaos they're trying to create. In that moment, you're no longer caught in the manipulation. You haven't accused them of anything. You've simply asked them to reflect on their actions. It's a way to keep the conversation grounded and focused on what truly matters. By responding in this way, you maintain control over the situation and avoid getting caught up in their emotional spin. You don't need to raise your voice, point fingers, or escalate the conflict. The power of silence and a calm response can often be more effective than any heated exchange. Think about the last time you were put on the spot like this. How did you react? Did you feel the pressure to explain yourself, to justify your concerns? Most people do. It's natural to want to be understood, to make sure others know that your feelings are valid. But the truth is, when you engage with the manipulator's tactic, you're giving them exactly what they want: control. They want to shift the focus onto you so that you lose sight of the real issue. But when you respond calmly and ask, "Should I be?" you're not just taking control of the conversation. You're taking control of your own emotions too. Carl Jung, whose insights into human behavior have helped us understand the complexity of the mind, once said, "Everything that irritates us about others can lead us to an understanding of ourselves." This applies perfectly in situations like these. When someone tries to manipulate you, it often says more about them than it does about you. Their attempt to shift the focus away from their behavior and onto your intentions reveals something about their character. It's not about your accusation. It's about their inability to face their own actions without deflecting. By recognizing this pattern, you gain a deeper understanding of the manipulation at play. The key to handling this question, and any question designed to manipulate, is awareness. The Stoics believed that we should not react impulsively, but rather respond with wisdom and clarity. A calm response forces the manipulator to confront their own actions without dragging you into an emotional conflict. By refusing to engage in the emotional turmoil they're trying to provoke, you maintain your inner peace. This approach doesn't mean you ignore the issue or let it slide. It means you confront the problem head-on without getting swept up in the emotional distractions. It means you maintain your composure, like Marcus Aurelius taught. The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts. In this case, your happiness depends upon the quality of your responses. You're in control of how you react, and when you respond with composure and clarity, you avoid being drawn into a battle of egos and accusations. You don't need to defend yourself. Your calm presence speaks for itself. The next time someone throws the "Are you accusing me?" question at you, take a moment. Don't rush into a defensive position. Instead, reflect on what's truly happening. Are they deflecting from their own actions? Are they trying to make you feel guilty for simply raising an issue? If so, respond with strength, saying, "Should I be?" This answer, though simple, is a powerful tool. It shifts the power back to where it belongs, with you. At its core, this approach is about self-awareness and emotional discipline. The Stoics understood that emotional reactions, while natural, often lead us astray. When you respond thoughtfully, you rise above the manipulation and stay true to your principles. You maintain your clarity and avoid the trap of playing into someone else's game. In the end, the manipulator's tactic only works if you let it. By staying calm and responding with clarity, you take back control of the situation. You don't need to be pulled into their emotional chaos. You are the one who dictates how you respond, and that is where your power lies. 4. Would I lie to you? Have you ever had someone ask you, "Would I lie to you?" It might sound harmless at first, even reassuring, but there's a hidden agenda behind this seemingly innocent question. It's not a simple inquiry. It's a carefully constructed tactic designed to make you feel guilty for doubting them. They're not just asking for trust. They're trying to manipulate your perception of truth. It's almost as if they want you to stop questioning, to silence your doubts, and simply accept whatever they say without scrutiny. Think about it. Honesty should never need to be defended. If someone is truly honest, their actions should speak louder than their words. Truth is self-evident. It doesn't need constant validation or reassurance, so when someone asks, "Would I lie to you?" what they're really doing is trying to make you feel guilty for considering the possibility. They sense your doubt, and instead of addressing it directly, they try to twist the conversation and put you on the defensive. Instead of confronting the issue at hand, they want you to question your own judgment. They want to make you feel like you're the one who's being unreasonable for having doubts in the first place. This question is a red flag. It's a manipulative move designed to force you into a corner where you either have to blindly trust them or feel guilty for questioning their integrity. They want you to overlook inconsistencies in their behavior or statements. But here's the key. When someone asks you this, it's a sign that they're trying to divert attention away from their actions. They know their actions don't match their words, and rather than owning up to it, they want you to stop asking the tough questions. As Carl Jung once said, "The privilege of a lifetime is to become who you truly are." This means, in part, that we must stay true to our perceptions and instincts, even when others try to manipulate us into doubting them. So, how do you respond when someone asks, "Would I lie to you?" The best response is to remain calm and challenge the question itself. Instead of getting pulled into an emotional defense, take a step back and say, "That's not the question. The question is, would I even know if you did?" This simple yet powerful reply forces the manipulator to confront their own actions. It shifts the focus away from you and puts the spotlight on them. It also serves as a reminder that trust isn't something that can be demanded. It's something that's built over time through consistent, transparent actions. Trust isn't about asking for it, it's about earning it. And that's where this question falls apart. When someone asks, "Would I lie to you?" they're asking for trust without earning it. They want to bypass the natural process of building trust and go straight to the trust me phase, even when their actions don't warrant that trust. A person with integrity doesn't need to ask for trust repeatedly. Their honesty and consistency speak for themselves. If they truly had your best interests at heart, they wouldn't need to manipulate you into believing them. They would show you through their actions. The Stoics understood this very well. Marcus Aurelius, for example, wrote, "If it is not right, do not do it. If it is not true, do not say it." This simple principle encapsulates what integrity truly looks like. If a person is genuinely trustworthy, they won't need to prove it or defend their actions constantly. Their words and actions will align, and they won't be afraid of scrutiny or questioning. It's the person who has something to hide, who tries to control the narrative, to deflect the conversation, and to make you feel guilty for even considering that they might not be telling the truth. One of the most powerful things you can do in response to this question is to remain calm and detached. Don't engage in a battle of emotions. Don't allow yourself to get pulled into a back and forth where you're forced to defend your doubts. Instead, pause, take a breath, and refocus the conversation on the truth of the matter. Ask yourself, do their actions align with their words? Have they been consistent, honest, and transparent with you? These are the real questions, and they're the ones that matter. When you challenge someone's manipulative tactics in this way, you not only protect yourself from being swayed by their lies, but you also set a boundary. You show them that you won't be manipulated into blind trust. You won't be guilted into overlooking inconsistencies. This doesn't mean you should become cynical or untrusting, but it does mean you should prioritize clarity and truth in your relationships. It's also worth noting that when someone constantly asks you for reassurance, it's a sign of insecurity. Liars need constant validation for their actions because they know they can't be trusted. They need you to silence your doubts because they're afraid of being exposed. A person with integrity, on the other hand, doesn't need constant validation. They stand by their actions because they know their behavior aligns with their words. As Seneca wisely put it, "It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste a lot of it." We waste time when we allow people to manipulate us, to distract us from the truth, and to make us question our own judgment. The time we spend defending ourselves against unnecessary guilt or manipulation could be better spent living with clarity and purpose. By not engaging in these manipulative games, we reclaim our time and energy for what truly matters. So, the next time someone asks, "Would I lie to you?" don't let it throw you off balance. Don't let it distract you from the core issue. Instead, respond with calmness and clarity, and remember that trust is earned through consistent, transparent actions, not by asking for it or manipulating someone into believing in it. When you stay grounded in your own judgment and recognize these manipulative tactics for what they are, you'll protect yourself from being swayed by false assurances. And in the end, your integrity and your truth will always stand stronger than any manipulative question. 5. Can't we just move on? Have you ever been in a situation where everything seemed off, but you just couldn't put your finger on it? You raised a concern, pointed out a lie, or noticed something that didn't sit right, only to have the person say, "Can't we just move on?" At first, it might seem like they're trying to keep the peace, like they're trying to avoid conflict. It sounds like a plea for harmony, doesn't it? But in reality, this is a tactic designed to shut you down, to get you to drop the issue before they face any consequences for their actions. This phrase is often used by manipulators who have already lied, distorted the truth, or tried to twist your perception. They know they've done something wrong, but instead of owning up to it, they want to move on without addressing the issue. The longer you hold on to the concern, the more uncomfortable it gets for them. Their hope is that you'll tire out, that you'll feel awkward, or maybe even guilty for pressing the issue. They want to shift the spotlight away from their actions and onto your discomfort, making you feel like you're the one at fault for bringing it up in the first place. The key here is understanding that this move isn't about peace. It's about avoiding accountability. They want you to let go of your right to clarity, to move past the issue without getting the answers or resolution you deserve. They're counting on your willingness to back down. But here's the Stoic response to this. Don't back down. Stand firm in your commitment to truth and your right to seek clarity. Marcus Aurelius believed that the best revenge is to be unlike him who performed the injury. This advice is powerful, especially in situations like these. When someone tries to avoid the consequences of their actions, the Stoic way is not to retaliate emotionally or engage in a destructive confrontation. It's to remain calm, assert your boundaries, and stick to your principles. This is the true essence of self-mastery. When they ask, "Can't we just move on?" your response should be calm, measured, and firm. You don't need to raise your voice or escalate the conflict. Simply reply, "I'll move forward when I fully understand what happened." Not a moment before this statement shifts the power back to you. You're not backing down, and you're not letting them off the hook. You're asserting your right to clarity and resolution, and you're doing so without getting dragged into an emotional struggle. It's important to remember that this is not about being difficult or stubborn. It's about respecting yourself and your right to seek the truth. If someone has lied or manipulated you, they don't get to move past the issue just because it's inconvenient for them. They have to face it. The Stoic approach is not to hold grudges or create unnecessary drama, but to ensure that any unresolved issues are addressed. The truth, after all, has a way of bringing peace, real peace, not the kind of superficial peace that comes from sweeping problems under the rug. One of the things that make manipulators so effective is their ability to create discomfort. They want you to feel like you're making a big deal out of nothing, that you're the one who's being difficult. But this tactic only works if you let it. The moment you allow them to move on without addressing the issue, you're complicit in allowing the manipulation to continue. You're letting them set the pace and determine when the issue is over. But remember, the truth doesn't have an expiration date. It's not something that can just be brushed aside when it's inconvenient for someone else. It's also crucial to understand that letting the issue slide doesn't serve you or anyone else in the long run. By pushing forward and addressing the matter head-on, you protect your own sense of integrity. You ensure that your needs are heard and respected, and by doing so, you create a healthier dynamic where accountability is valued and issues are dealt with before they fester into bigger problems. When you face a manipulator, the last thing you should do is let them dictate when things are done. The truth doesn't operate on their timeline. It's not something that can be hurried or ignored just because it's inconvenient. As Seneca once said, "Time is like a river of passing events, and you can't change the course of the river, but you can choose how to navigate it." In the context of manipulation, time is the tool they use to wear you down, to make you feel like you should move on before everything is clear. But as the Stoics teach us, we have control over how we navigate these moments. We don't have to rush. We can choose to remain calm, clear-headed, and firm, no matter how much pressure is applied. The Stoic path isn't about forcing others to adhere to your will. It's about maintaining your own integrity and sticking to your principles, even in the face of manipulation. When someone asks, "Can't we just move on?" it's not about punishing them or dragging out the conversation unnecessarily. It's about standing your ground. It's about ensuring that your voice is heard, that your concerns are addressed, and that you're not coerced into moving past something without the closure you deserve. So next time someone tries to rush you into letting go of an unresolved issue, take a moment. Don't let them dictate when things are finished. Stand firm in your commitment to truth. Respond calmly but firmly with, "I'll move forward when I fully understand what happened," not a moment before. This not only keeps you in control, but it also sets a powerful boundary that signals to others that you value clarity, truth, and respect. The Stoic way is to remain unmoved by the emotional manipulation that tries to sideline the truth. When you stay grounded in your principles and resist the urge to move on prematurely, you empower yourself to make decisions that align with your values. You create an environment where real peace can be built, not one built on avoiding uncomfortable truths, but on facing them with strength and clarity. And in doing so, you not only protect yourself, but you also lead by example, showing others that honesty, integrity, and respect are worth standing up for, no matter the pressure to move on. Remember, true peace doesn't come from avoiding difficult conversations. It comes from facing them with clarity and strength. When you stand firm in your commitment to truth, you take control of your life and your relationships. Never let anyone rush you into silence or dismiss your concerns. You deserve understanding, respect, and resolution. If this resonated with you, don't forget to check out one of the suggested videos on the screen. Keep sharpening your inner armor. Thank you for being part of Stoic Journal. Stay strong, stay true, and keep walking the path of wisdom.